Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. We go live 30 minutes after market close, Monday through Friday. If you're not yet a member of our free option trading group, the link is below, along with the link to our Discord. If you're here right now, say what up. Richard, thanks for the $5, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Man, Richard. Man. Carmine, I know you're driving. Be safe. Don't text. Billy, Matthew, Patrick, FC, what's going on? Linda, Josh, Callum, Wittick, Jordan, Eamon. What's going on, everyone? Matthew got paid. Matthew, you've been getting paid too much lately. Too much. No, it's good though. It's good. Congrats. Feels good to win, but also remember your losers. Remember your losers. Brent, off till Friday, back for some good collaboration. Nice. Nice, off till Friday. Yo, Greg, what up? Josh got paid. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Brent got paid off a BAC and F. Nice. Learned a lesson. Always play defense. Billy, you've been in here long enough. You should know that. Stefan, big loser. Don't be too hard on yourself. We all lose. We all lose. Sometimes, you know, losing trades helps you define your strategy, though. However, it's better to lose on paper than it is like real money. Clint learned some lessons. Sorry to hear. Stefan, yeah, we all. Stefan, on Monday, I lost 150 on 4 accounts, so I lost 600. But you know, it's I know that seems like a lot, but like 100 to 150, it's easy to bounce back for me for per account, so not too worried about it. You know, if it was down, you know, where things kind of get dicey, which haven't happened in a long time, me having like a $500 down day per account, that means I lost $2,000. And something like that has not happened, thankfully, in a long time. But I also been trading. I've probably been trading very conservatively since, you know, last couple quarters here. But also I haven't lost big either. So there's pluses and minuses. You know, people make bigger gains than me. People lose more money than me. At the end of the day, you trade the way that you want to trade, and that's it. Play defense, didn't realize anything. What if we only trade paper? Will TD Ameritrade send it to our bank if we do good? They will reward you with nothing. They'll say, well, you're using our platform. It's time for you to start paying commissions, buddy. That's what they're going to say. Oh, you want lower fees? Never mind. But I'm only down $20. Still have till next week. I'll stay positive. BSC finally paid off. Nice. Yeah, for me, I closed the day flat. So Monday I was down $1.50 per account. Yesterday I closed the day up $1.50, so flat. And today was pretty flat. I have to do the math. I don't know if I was up $30 or down $30, but it's somewhere in there. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know if you guys had this issue on Thinkorswim. So sometimes different brokerages report different numbers on the options, depending on, you know, sometimes they options close at a certain price, and Thinkorswim thinks it is one price, and sometimes Tastyworks thinks it's another, or sometimes E-Trade thinks it's another. You know, it said, I don't know why. It said I was down like at open I was down like 500 on the day, but then I did some trades now. It says I'm down like 278 on the day, but that's not right. And then, I mean, if you're looking here, if you're like kind of comparing apples to apples on these, you know, the numbers here don't match up to anything over here, even though they're the same exact trades. I mean, if you're looking at, you know, the fills here, and I posted all these fills on Discord and Facebook. If you look at the fills here, you're looking at the fills on Thinkorswim. You know, we're probably talking, you know, the main difference on them is probably like pennies. You know, maybe up a couple pennies, down a couple pennies on per account. You know, not a big deal. You know, not. And then the other problem with Tastyworks, is when you average positions down. So GE, I have 20 puts. I averaged down, so I had 10. Let's look at this real quick. I was struggling with the technology today. So on January 11th, I bought 10 puts for 8 cents, and then I averaged down again. Not again, for the first time. I averaged down the day at 4 cents, just to average down, and it's showing, like I said, this is a glitch in Tastyworks, which I've shown before. It doesn't calculate your averages. It just adds that to your losses for the day. So it's saying my P&L day is 60 and P&L at open is 60. It's not taking the average, but then if you go over to Thinkorswim, I don't know, it's reporting some weird numbers today on these things. You know, if you look over at Thinkorswim here, GE, I'm down 50 at open, so pretty much right. You know, it said on Tastyworks was down 60, but now on my P&L day is saying I'm down 15. And if you look here, same exact trades. I'll show you again here. You know, I bought. Oh, you gotta make myself smaller here. Same exact trades, just kind of filled them differently. So on January 11th, I filled them for, over here I got 8 cents as well. So 10, so 5, 4, and 1. So it's just filled them separately, probably on like different exchanges. So 8 cents, and then today I bought 10 more for 4 cents, and my average is 6 cents, and it's saying my P&L day here is 15. But then if you're looking here as well, like JP Morgan is saying I lost 82.50 on the day here, and then if you go over to Tastyworks, you know, JPM, I'm up $42 on the day. So it's like it's all messed up today. So I think that, you know, I'll do the math, but I just didn't have time to do it before this. But I think I'm overall flat. You know, we'll do the math on. I'm not gonna probably cover every trade here just because, you know, today was kind of a lot. But we'll go through most of them here and see what we did, and that way we can get the math straight on some of these. Where do you think the SPY is headed in the coming months? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Ruben, we're going to talk about SPY, SPX, and NASDAQ in some of these stocks here. We're definitely will play into the bank stocks, which we were talking about today as well. Obviously, the bank stocks were a big play today, and we're coming up on some major resistances here, which made me change some positions here. Added SPY put, nice. Broke even on GE. Jeff, what's going on, man? What's going on? Okay, so let's talk about CGC. So as you guys know, CGC is a stock that I've been trying to learn how it moves and learn how it trades, right? So this morning I bought a couple calls. 44 calls, because if you guys watched my video yesterday, missed a couple opportunities there. And what I was looking for on CGC, if you're looking in the middle here, you know, yesterday it bounced at 41, went up to 44, came back down. I thought maybe we'd return because we kind of were fluctuating between like 41 and 42, almost trying to go up to 43. But as you can see, it was just relatively flat. We had a little boost at the end of the day. Had, you know, picked up from 41 all the way up to almost 42.50, but pretty much flat consolidation day. So I was hoping for a quick day trade there. It just didn't work out. So I'm still holding CGC calls on that one. Ruben and Billy must be in Michigan or California or something. That stuff's not legal here. In good old Illinois, but it seems like it's going to be. Anyways, so that's the story on CGC. We're still fighting through some things here. Snap, probably not the best trade. So Snap, the CFO left, and as you guys know, the stock was down like what, 12, 13. Well, now at close it was like down 13%, over almost 14%. So I bought some calls, of course. 16 days out, I bought the February 1st calls. If we go over to Snap here, you know, yes, it gapped down. We got some time on this, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm looking for like it to return to 630, 620 area. You know, definitely not going to be a humongous trade. Currently on the position, we are down 27 bucks, cost me 75. So we're down like 30% on it, but when I bought it, it was at 1028. So at 1028 this morning, it was like flat, so it wasn't doing anything, and then it just of course, right after you buy at 1030 here, you could see it started just to drift down pretty much all day. No buyers, no buyers, no buyers. So, you know, not that I want to be long Snap, but I thought for the news, it was probably a little bit overdone, you know. Kit, thank you, man. Brent, Facebook does not own Snap. Facebook tried to buy Snap for $1 billion and they declined. Kit, thank you, man. So we'll see. You know, for CGC, I'm still hopeful on it returning to 44 since it was consolidating today. And sometimes that's the game. Like, you know, Microsoft was consolidating today as well. Like, I have a position on Microsoft. Still, I have the 106 call, 104 put, and today we had some action. But I'm still holding just because it consolidated, didn't move. It's gonna break. It's gonna break lower. It's gonna break higher. We just got to figure out. It's just got to figure out what it wants to do. You know, Nasdaq was strong yesterday. So Monday Nasdaq was the weakest of them all. Tuesday Nasdaq was the strongest of all the indexes, and today Nasdaq was also weak. And as you can see here, Nasdaq futures are also red when the other ones are green. You know, Dow being the strongest, obviously because of the banks. You know, so we covered the GE trade, JP Morgan. So a couple trades on JPM. Let's get the math right on this because this is not right. So as I was telling you guys before on Tastyworks, there's a glitch. I actually opened a ticket with Tastyworks that is calculating my P&L day here as the same as my realized, which is not the case. So let's get to the truth here. So I opened up a position on yesterday. So January 15th. January 15th, I opened a position. I bought the 100 put, the 102 call for 97 cents, and I closed it out today for $1.34. Okay, so let's see. 134 minus 97. So I was up $37 on that. And then I was up another $11. So it's 37 plus 11. So I bought then today for a day trade since I wanted to realign. I want to take profits. I wanted to redeploy. I thought that JP Morgan was potentially gonna hit. I thought JP Morgan was going to hit 104 today, and it just couldn't make it. So I wanted to redeploy. So as you guys couldn't see my orders before, definitely apologize for that. So 11. You know, so I'm up 48, saying I only made 42. So, you know, I'm really up $48 instead of $42 here since this P&L day realized glitch here. So not a big difference, but sometimes it really is a big difference. Depends on the trades. So hopefully they fix that. And iOS and Mac it works fine, but for some reason Windows is not working. I don't know. I know we talked about this before. Does that happen to anybody else here? I mean, the only reason why I started talking about it is because I switched to PC and the software is not the same. Yeah. Who's it? No one's traded in binary, man. Get out of here. Yeah, guys, please don't spam. We're all just trying to learn and stuff. I mean, we actually have been pretty fortunate that people aren't spamming, but they're coming. They're coming for us. They're coming for us. Oh, man. I only trade on Mac. Well, if the Mac worked for streaming, we wouldn't have this problem. If Tim Cook didn't let me down, you know, I got a MacBook Pro i7 16 gigs, got the little touch bar, got a solid state drive in there. I mean, it's zooming, but it can't handle 1 hour stream on OBS without getting overheated. Anyways, so $48 realized on that. The reason why I put this trade on 11:23 today. This was a day trade on JP Morgan, quick. And the reason why I cut it for such small profits is because I'll go over. I placed a Bank of America trade and I placed a Goldman Sachs trade, and they were going against my position, and I didn't really like where we were heading right up in here when if you're looking at JP Morgan, when we're getting really toppy, we hit 103.45 a couple times, and then essentially it dropped. And now that spread, if I look at that spread, so I got $1.10. If you guys can see here, I got $1.10 for that. So I had the 101 put, 103 call. And if we go into JP Morgan here, you know, thankfully I did cut it because now it's only worth 79 cents. So I got $1. So I bought it for 99 cents. I sold it for $1.10, and now it's only worth 79 cents. So thankfully I cut that because then I placed bearish trades on Bank of America and Goldman Sachs, which I'll go over here on what those positions are. Yeah, so before we get into the actual position, let me show you why I put certain trades on here for why I went bearish on Bank of America. So you're like, Goldman Sachs just had the best day ever. Why would you go, you know, why would you be bearish on it? Why would you go against the trades here? And the reason for it is, if we're looking at Bank of America, we're looking at Goldman Sachs, is at 29, it's gotten rejected once, twice, 3 times right here, is what I looked for. And like one of my favorite trades, one of the things that I do well on is playing support and resistance trades. And this is very much, it doesn't matter what the news is when you're trading the chart. So right now, in this particular instance, I'm trading the chart. Sure, Bank of America had good earnings. JP Morgan, they didn't really have great earnings. Bank of America and Goldman Sachs had the best earnings out of all the banks. But what does that mean? You know, what does that mean long term? What does that mean for Bank of America? What does that mean for the chart? Does it deserve to be above $29? You know, that's really what you have to ask yourself is, does it really deserve to go back up to, you know, $30? And I was thinking that $30 is kind of stretch. And if you're looking here, you know, if you're looking at Goldman Sachs as well, Goldman Sachs has, you know, last time right at 200. Obviously, 200 was a critical point for Goldman Sachs. When it broke below, it didn't ever come back up for, I mean, it hasn't yet since November. So it could, I mean, it had some pretty terrible days in here. You know, I did trade it back in October, November a little bit. December, I didn't really trade it because the options started to get really, really overpriced, so I didn't trade it. You know, kind of what I'm playing here is the same thing right at like 199, 198 area. Last time it was up here, came down to like 194, 193 area. So my positions on these, on Bank of America, Bank of America, I opened for 53 cents. I have the 28.5 put and the 30 call. It looks like this for BAC right here. So I have the 28.5 put, 30 call, and I skewed it because I'm like, I put, like, why did you buy the call? Like, why did you buy the call? People ask. It's like, why would you buy the call? It's always only 8 cents or 10 cents at the time. Is mainly for protection, because like, what if I'm wrong? You know, what if I'm wrong? And a lot of the times I am wrong. You know, nobody that trades is right every single time. You can have a good string of being right, but you're going to come to that time that you're going to be wrong. Like, it's going to go against you. What if Bank of America just, you know, busts through that resistance like nothing, which it does happen. I mean, that's how the S&Ps got down to 2350, is busting through support like nothing. And people that didn't have protections in place lost money. So, you know, when I trade, I try to trade conservatively, but also keep in mind, if it does go against me, I'd like to try to at least break even on the trade if it goes against me. So my idea is bearish, but if it does go against me, I'll lose smaller with that call in place. So if we come up to 29 and a half, I'll probably still lose money, but I won't lose all my money. If it goes above 30, then, you know, we make money again, and we got 9 days. We got 9 days to do it. So currently in the money on BAC. For some reason, let's see, we're up $10 on that position at close. BAC, kind of interesting. BAC sold off a little bit here, not a lot, 20 cents, but enough to us to be up $10. And JP Morgan got cut the most at close. GS went a little bit down at close, but nothing crazy comparative to the run. I mean, still straight up. I mean, just a couple down ticks in there on GS. And then GS I put on the, let's see here. So I have the 195. I have the 195 put and the 205 call. And that cost me 166. And then on Thinkorswim, because it was moving quick there at close. On Thinkorswim, what did I get a fill for here? GS, $1.74. So like, you know, $6 more, $7 more. And when I started to look at that position, it was like $1.50, but then I decided to close JP Morgan. And by the time I closed JP Morgan, this was already up like 20 cents, like $1.74, $1.66. It was steadily increasing. So, you know, I still went in the position because I still wanted to get in, but I wanted to lock in those gains. Like I said, I wanted to lock in those gains of JP Morgan. So I guess whatever I saved on JP Morgan, I spent on Goldman Sachs. If I put the trade on Goldman Sachs earlier, I would have lost on JP Morgan probably about the same amount of money. Then, so I guess it kind of evens out at the end of the day. I was trying to take profits on JP Morgan and then put the trade on Goldman Sachs, but then it was just like moving. It was just moving really fast, essentially. And sometimes that happens. The one trade that I did lose on today here was Caterpillar. I finally got out of. I think overall I'm down like $90 on this position. It's just we can do the math here. It was just a bad position. Bad rotation. I definitely can see where you could have made money on Caterpillar this week. Looking at it, like if I put a bullish trade on every time it touched 130 this week, we would have made money. Like right here, touch 130, went up. Here, touch 130, went up. Touch 130, went up. Touch 130, went up. So the opportunity is there, but sometimes when you put a trade on, you might have the right idea, but you get like in a bad rotation. And when you get in a bad rotation like this, like I had the 134 call and the 126 put, and really wasn't doing anything that was worth me doing. So let's add up these trades here, see what we really lost on Caterpillar, because things are so screwed up. So it cost me 175 for my original position. Then I bought another call, cost me 30. So I'm about 205 bucks deep on this position. I got back 55 cents once. So you can see here one time, 55 cents. So we'll deduct that. So I'm at 150 now. And then I got back 25 cents at two options here. As you can see this, 25 times 2, so another 50. So let's see here. So I'm still down. I lost $100 on that position, but you know, I got some money back. I didn't let it ride out to zero. It could very easily go to zero. You don't want a position like that. Like the best thing for me to do in a position like that, when you get in a bad rotation like that, the best thing is to take it off, and maybe Caterpillar will go back to 130, and then we'll try again. You know, but right now we were just in a bad rotation. We had to cut it. We took a $100 loss on it. We conserved some capital. We were able to redeploy it, but you know, you don't, when you know that you're in a bad rotation like that, you know, when you're saying, I hope it does this or I hope it does that, you got to cut it loose, because hope is not a strategy. Hope doesn't bring you gains. Your strategy does. A plan does. And it wasn't working out to plan, and it wasn't dropping below. It wasn't dropping up. I mean, thankfully I cut the puts off. I made some money on the puts when it dropped down. But other than that, you know, it's just been bleeding me dry. And today's Wednesday. These expire Friday. And as you know, as you get closer to Friday, Theta just hits that really fast. And if we don't get to where we were going to go, I mean, now that I sold, it's probably going to go to like 136. So, Baron, what's going on? 1,100%. Congrats. Congrats. You got the quadruple bagger. Nice. I love it. I hit a few quadruple baggers in 2018. I am still waiting for my my 1,000% gainer today, or in 2019. But congrats, man! I'm happy for you. That's crazy. And how did? Anyways, yeah. Let's look at that. Let me look at that 2750 call. Was it for Baron? Or was it for this week? I'm interested in the pricing. So if you guys don't know, I'm kind of a pricing geek when it comes to that. So you had the 2750 call. Let's see here. So I get very interested in options pricing. Let's see here, Baron. So if you're looking at, so this is the 2750. It's up 750% today. Baron, let's see here. Baron, if you're still here. Oh, you got it for $10 for this week. So you bought it for 10 cents probably yesterday, because it's looking like, yeah, about 10 cents yesterday. And then if we zoom in today, man, you definitely held on. You definitely held on pretty good. So it was 10 cents, and then it went up to $1.25. So honestly, you know, if it were me, I definitely would have cut and run it open, because I'm thinking you're up 600%, 500% at open. You know, I know it's only 50 bucks or so. I know it's only 50 bucks, but when you're trading options, especially if you're trading like on a small account, you got to think about percentages. You can't think about how much money you are, because your positions will always focus on percentage. Like some people say, well, I only made $2, but maybe $2 was 20% or 30%. So you got to think about it that way, because dollars aren't scalable, but percentages are scalable. So you can't, you know, if someone says, hey, I made $1,000 in the market today, but he risked $100,000, you know, who's the better trader? Somebody that makes $1,000 and risks $5,000, or somebody that risked $100,000 and made $1,000? You know, so you gotta think about the percentages. Whether you have a big account or you have a small account, always focus on the percentages. Hit percentage goals. Don't hit dollar goals. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'm gonna make $10 a day, or I'm gonna make $100 a day, but you don't understand how hard that is on a percentage basis sometimes. Like on a percentage basis, you can hit targets a lot easier, because each trade is different. Some trades, you know for a fact you're not going to get anywhere near 100%, or you know for a fact you're not going to get anywhere near 50% on it. But in your mind, if you say, okay, well, if I put a trade on for 50 bucks and it goes up $10, that's 20%, you know? So just saying, concentrate on the percentage. JDM, what's up? How can you tell when something is priced well? So when you're buying options, Billy, when you're buying options, you have to weigh how much it costs per what the expected move is. So if it costs $1 or $100, if it costs $1, but the stock is only expected to move $1, then you're not going to get a good deal. But if it's priced at 50 cents and the stock is expected to move $1, then you're going to get a good deal. So it's just balancing it out. But also you got, you know, if you're doing strangles and stuff, you have to balance it out, especially if you want to be bullish or bearish. Right now, I would say neutral plays are hard, a little bit harder, especially like in a slow market. In a slow market, when there's low volume and we're just kind of grinding, you want to be skewed towards a direction you'll make money faster and you'll be able to get out faster. Let's see here. What's that? But yeah, Baron, congrats on that. That's a nice win. Yeah, Kit, percentages can make you a fortune. I want to talk about Baba trade here. I got one more trade to go over as well, Baba, and then you guys are. Joe's PDD plant ban is lifted tomorrow. Joe, next time you get banned, just open an account somewhere else. And if it's for Robinhood, you'll if you're banned on Robinhood, they probably did you a favor. Andrew, we know what you think about it. So Baba, let's talk about Baba. I closed out my Baba position today as well. Baba has been kind of crazy. It says I made $65, but I don't know if that's true right now. Let's look at Baba. So Baba, and that's that glitch again where it's taking the day and the realize. So be aware that on whether you're trading on Thinkorswim or Tastyworks, always do the math. If something doesn't read, you know, occasionally they get it wrong. And today, both my accounts are messed up. But we're gonna do the math here. So I got $1.91 for it. I bought it for $1.48. So you subtract that. So I made $43. I did not make $65. I made $43. And $65. I'm probably up $65 on the day because I was down in the trade yesterday. But yesterday I put a trade on. I bought the 155 call and the 147 put, and I put that on. I went over it yesterday. Yesterday when we were trying to get back up into this, I thought we were going to bounce. So it was selling. You know, we spiked up pretty large. We bounced off. I thought it was a good play. I thought we were going to have a V-shaped chart, and we just didn't. Sold off the rest of the day, and I was down in the position a little bit, like 20 bucks or so. And then today we had a pretty crazy push up on Alibaba. Pretty much went straight up every day, all day. And then on this final leg up, I sold it off. Thankfully, you know, I sold it right at, as you can see here, I sold it at 202 today. And that 202 we were trading at. So right between here where we kind of double topped here at like 155.39, 155.25. When we topped out over here, it did push a little bit higher, but ultimately ended up lower. So now let's see what that is worth right now. And that dip. So this is why sometimes it's you know, I didn't have a huge gainer as you can see, but on a percentage basis did pretty well. But in terms of the dollars that I made, not great. So that's why I talk about, like, you know, trading on a percentage basis, not always on how much money you make. Yeah, I made $40 times 3, so I made like times 4 times, you know, I made like 160. But you know, if we're looking at Baba here, let's see, I had the 147 put, 155 call. Let's click on Baba. $147, 155, 147. 155. So I sold it for $1.91. It's now worth $1.78. So, I mean, in this market, you just gotta. I've noticed, like, because last week I learned some lessons, just not taking profits fast enough. Like, you gotta get quicker at taking profits. And yes, we could wake up and Baba will be 160, but we could also wake up and Baba's gonna be 152. I'm gonna be down all my money. So, when the strangle is, when the protection is too far away for it to protect you, you gotta take the money and then redeploy your profits. If I was still interested in Baba, if I wanted to trade Baba again, I would have took my profits and I would have realigned. I would have probably bought, if I wanted to. If I thought Baba was going to go up again tomorrow, I would have probably bought like the 157. I probably would have redeployed. Probably would have bought the 157 and probably bought the 150. So, like, as you see, like, this would have cost $1. And as you can see, like, as you get later into the week, you get cheaper deals. However, you need it to work out faster. So, tightening up. So, instead of my protection being back here, doing me no good, I would have protections now at like 150. So, this would be like a bullish skewed strangle. If you want to get more aggressive, you could do something like that, like 155, 149. But I wasn't really interested in it because I'm also still on the Microsoft trade. So, I left Microsoft on because Microsoft was just flat today. So, yeah, it was Robinhood. Yeah, 25% is like 3 times the annual return. Most investors agreed. So I know I went over a lot of things. Adele, I just did. Do you ever put a trade on one account and not the other? It seems like you trade the same. Adele, I trade the same on all accounts because it helps me stay mechanical, and also, like, you don't want to have, like, okay, I got Apple on one account, Microsoft on another, and this. If all my positions are the same, then I buy at the same time, I sell at the same time. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, what's different. I just execute them all at the same time. At first, taking profits to redeploy just sounds good and logical, but there are so many reasons to do it. Yeah, I mean, SC. The reason why I would redeploy that is because if it did, there was too much risk. There was too much risk on that Baba trade, and when you're handling that kind of risk, like if it came down to 150 tomorrow, I would lose money on my 155 call, but my 147 call put was too far away for it to make any money back. So what was the point of holding it? To make that 155 call more expensive? Wouldn't it be better just to take the profits and then put another position on if I wanted to? Class AI, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot of time. Like, there's a lot of people. Actually, there's a guy that messaged me yesterday saying, some people give me a hard time that I take smaller profits, right? And they say, well, if you held, you could have turned it into 1,000%, 2,000%, 500%, or whatever the case is. But for my strategy, I don't win battles, I win wars. So I may lose today or maybe break even, but over time, I'm sure my account of taking 50% to 100% winners is going to beat the people that try to get 1,000% every time. I guarantee it. It's way easier to hit 50% and 1,000% 5-10 times than it is to hit 1,000% 5 or 10 times. I mean, people that have been trading here for a while definitely know how hard it is to hit 1,000%. I know Billy did today, but it's also rare circumstances that you do it. I mean, yes, you could get lucky. Yes, you could be the right place at the right time. But the way to make the way that I've made the 1,000% is out of occurrences. The more that I trade, the more that I'm in the market. Like right now, I have a lot of trades on, and something news-induced happens, or like last time I had a big trade, like 2,000, 3,000%, is when I was holding Tesla position, and they changed the earnings date. Nothing I could have controlled, nothing I could have planned for, nothing like that. It just is based on occurrences, So if you do the math, if anybody here likes to do math, you can weigh out the number of occurrences, and you can really get geeked up over that. But basically the gist is have positions on, trade accordingly, trade safe. The 1,000% will happen as long as you're trading. It will happen. I've seen 1,000% bowling after I sold. Yeah, but Josh, you're not losing. You're a winning trader, man. A lot of people can't say that they're a winning trader. You're a winning trader. You're a profitable trader. Some people would say, I would kill for 10% profits or 5% profits. I'm not making any money. What's happening? And Josh, you're over there flipping, you know, $300, $700 Alibaba trades. I mean, give me a break. Excellent. If you're trying to get 1,000% out of the market, get out of the stock market. Yeah. Brian, what's up? If you're new here, say what up. Definitely want to meet you. Welcome to the UVH fam. See a lot of new faces. We got a lot of original people in here that have been supporting since day one. I mean, you guys are great. Are you shooting yourself in the foot if you're only doing 50% and close it every time, not 100%? King Jacob, it's not guaranteed. I think I showed you a couple times, and if you watch my videos, I show you multiple times where yes, I left profits on the table, but at the same time, discipline has saved me tens of thousands of dollars. You know, to be honest with you, maybe more. I don't even know, like, because you don't know what you missed. But I know what it's like to trade without discipline. I know what it's like to trade with discipline, and with discipline, the account grows. Without discipline, your account doesn't grow, and you got to keep putting money in. Nick is telling some truth here. Yeah, Kit, best way to make a buck, be 50 cents twice. Yeah. Base hits instead of home runs. Yeah. I mean, yeah, everyone, the thing is about the market, and we're all you know, even on this YouTube video, you're probably showing an ad by, you know, some guru getting out of a private jet, you know, hopping in his Ferrari, and everybody wants, you know, hey, I took $1,000 and I turned it into $10 million within 6 months. The only way to do that is to hit like gigantic home runs, and it just doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't happen like that. Danny, prepare for that snowstorm that weekend, man. We're gonna get hit, man. We're gonna get hit this weekend with the snow. Hey Tom, what up? Nice to see you. Brian, glad you're enjoying your time here. I definitely have a lot of fun doing these videos, like interacting every day here. It's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, Matthew, just be careful. Nick needs a hat. I have a plan when it reaches I have to fight for my inner demons. Josh, good luck on that Netflix trade too. Hope you can get out of that without getting burned. Brian, where's the scanning software that you're using? So I don't really use scanning software. I mean, I use Thinkorswim here to. This is my watch list and stuff. This is Thinkorswim. You can get it through TD Ameritrade. Talking about California. I'm not naming names. I'm just saying. Think about the $1,000 account you blew before getting a winner. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to assume because you don't know the person. So I never like to assume anything about anyone because you don't know where they came from. You don't know who they are, unless you know them personally and they're like great acquaintances or friends. And you know, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, to make millions in the market in a short time period, you have to put on extreme risk, and it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes hard work. Nick uses 3 simple patterns: eat, sleep, UVH. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I haven't been sleeping much lately though. Kit, take care, Josh. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. What stocks you want to look at? Any questions you guys have? Definitely have fun. You know, chopping it up here, but let's get you in on the action here. What do you guys want to talk about? What stocks you looking at? Oh, the one thing I do want to talk about, SPX. Real quick while you guys are typing in the comments. I know I can talk a lot faster than you guys can type. So 2650s on deck here. I don't know if we're going to get there. We're going to have a little retracement. I mean, we've had how many green days in a row? Granted, we've had so many red days in a row here, but eventually it's going to get topped out. Was this going to be like 2650 we're going to get topped out, or we're going to head retrace to 2600 here? You know, I definitely was getting a little worried that you know, the Dow being so strong and the Nasdaq and S&P not really that strong, and some of the stocks are flat. To me, in my opinion, obviously signals for a little bit of a retracement, but it's tough. I mean, earnings haven't been that great yet. Like we're still reporting. You know, Netflix reports tomorrow after close. So if I'm like Microsoft, I'll probably want to close that, you know, and then realign. But Netflix is gonna, whether it does good or it does poor, it's gonna try to take the market with it. So, I mean, Netflix is you gotta watch out for Netflix earnings. But yeah, EXLN, I agree. AMD, Brent, you need a genie like Nick. What? AMD closed red here. What does the daily look like? Oh man, I guess I haven't looked at AMD just because I had so many other positions. I didn't want to get too crazy, and the chip stocks are definitely feeling the hurt. I'm guessing Apple's not going to do very well. I'm not saying, you know, Apple may do well. Last quarter was atrocious. Facebook, all those stocks, they're going to have some short time, but I think that AMD is looking kind of bearish to me because we have this high up here, and then we have this high here, and then we have this high here. So it's kind of downtrending still. So the pops are getting weaker. You know, easily could retest 16, 18 area is what I'm looking at here. I don't know if I'll trade AMD, but today would probably be, you know, the market was green today. Definitely, market was strong today, and AMD just couldn't hold it together. Looks like it wants to visit 18. However, around 18, it does like to bounce around 18. So you got to kind of be aware of that. But up in here in the 19s, once it breaks below 20, it's just 18 and 16 are the numbers, it seems. Lottery put option on Netflix. I don't really lotto play. I don't like to waste my money. FDC. First Data. Oh, First Data, they were being... was it someone buying First Data, or was First Data buying somebody? I saw some news, some $22 billion. I didn't look into it just because I was busy with my other positions. But was it First Data was buying another company, I think it was? Yeah, the thing is about the buyouts, I don't understand how it impacts the price. And these are up 4,000% here, which is nice, but I don't know how that will impact the price. Obviously, it tried to gap fill here, but it didn't gap fill. You know, this could just be a massive short squeeze because I mean, we went from 26 all the way down to 15, so this could just be a massive short squeeze and just head back down. So it's really hard to say. Facebook, Sergio. Yeah, we've been talking about this. Facebook really needs to break above this 155 area, otherwise it's still kind of bearish. Now that it broke above this high, it has to break above this high, and then this one here, it's got a target. So 155, 160, 170 for it to kind of start getting back to where it was. But I think when Facebook pushed towards 218, I think that was definitely very dangerous. It was dangerous, and then their earnings came out, and then the truth hit, and then ever since that's been on decline. So I would say be very careful with Facebook. It needs to break highs. I definitely would like to play this 150. I didn't play it because I have a lot of other positions on right now, but this 150 would have been probably fun to play. Rejection maybe down to 140. But I mean, Facebook has been strong this week. You know, especially yesterday, just went 145 to 150 in 45 minutes. So you got to be careful. Brent thinks Netflix is going down. You guys think Netflix is going down? I don't know. It's hard to say. That one's a coin flip for sure. Netflix doesn't. I don't think anyone understands how the stock works. The stock price works on Netflix, because at the end of the day, they lose money. They're in debt, but yet they're making their stock price breaks new highs, and more people want to buy it. So I don't know. That's why I just trade the price, and that's what option traders do. Option traders trade the price, and I guess it doesn't matter if Netflix goes to 1,000 or goes down to 100. We just trade it. Either way, we just want the stock to move, and Netflix is a mover. But yeah, I'm not gonna gamble. I don't gamble on earnings. I don't put on lotto plays. I like to trade pre-earnings. I did have a nice gain, over 100% gain on Netflix pre-earnings, and I'll be looking to trade it after earnings. And you guys are active today. VMware talking about pursuing Amazon. Yeah, and I think that wasn't Dell like have a relationship with VMware. Andrew's bearish on Netflix. Yeah, you guys are. I mean, it's good to be bearish on Netflix, but I mean, I can see the reason to be. I can see both reasons, but in the last 5 years, I mean, it's gone from 40 in 5 years. If you held the stock in 5 years, it's gone from $42 back up to $351. Now, there's probably like you wouldn't want to be if you were holding stock, long-term stock, you don't want to be checking the stock price a lot, because Netflix swings like crazy. They gap up on earnings, they gap down on earnings. They're pretty crazy. They don't pay any dividends. But it's a stock people want to own, and they have those. Forbes or Fortune always has those. If you bought these stocks like 5 years ago, or 10,000, if you put $1,000 in 10 years ago, this is how much money you'd have today. And it was like $80,000 or something, something like that. And yeah, I mean, let's see here, 10 years ago, Netflix was $4, and now it's at $351. But I mean, that's the Warren Buffett mentality. If you believe in the company, you just hold on to it and you get paid. But I don't know. I mean, Netflix, I could see why people are bullish on it, but I could also see why you could be bearish on it just because of the fundamentals. I would say it's tough. It's tough, Just trade the price, you'll be okay. Holding stock, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a buyer at 350. I mean, if you're looking at this chart, this is the biggest pop we have. And usually, if you're asking the crypto boys, you got the biggest pops before the fall, right? You're looking at 1999 charts, 2000 charts, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001. The biggest pops happen before the biggest falls, right? And I'm not saying anything that's not true. You can go on there and check it yourself. All the big stocks. I mean, it took Microsoft 30 years to get back to where it was 30 years ago. Back in 18 years. I'm sorry. It took Microsoft like 18 or 16 years, something like that, to get back to where it was before the .com bubble burst. Appreciate it, FC. Draw to NC. No, I'm with you, E. Excellent. I'm just saying, Netflix is an irrational beast. Look at Ford. Yeah. So the thing is that Brent. The thing about Ford and those companies like Ford and GE or GM it gets to be a certain point in time where you don't become a growth stock anymore. You get to a point of saturation, like Starbucks, McDonald's, even though McDonald's is breaking through and trying to innovate, but you get to a point of saturation, and Ford did that. So now all Ford does is meet the demand of the American consumer. That's it. They're not growing anymore. They do have more competition now than they did, 100 years ago. But that's all they do. So I typically, like, I don't like to trade stocks like Ford and stuff, mainly because I like to trade growth stocks primarily. And Netflix is a growth stock, Amazon's a growth stock. I mean, most tech are growth stocks. Ford is not a growth stock. But yeah, Ford is not good. The thing about these, especially under $10, is you got to be very patient. I mean, Ford's down 6% today. You got to be very patient with these tickers. I mean, definitely would have been way better. I would have loved to trade it from 18 to 12. That would have been more fun. 18 to 13. But from 10 to 8 or 7 is not that much fun for me. You know? Yeah, Baron, they linked up with VW. They got to do something. They got to do something. I mean, they got to get ahead of the EV, got to get ahead of Tesla. And Tesla's another one that doesn't make sense, but people are betting on the future, you know? Yeah, Verizon, AT&T. I mean, AT&T is another, AT&T, I mean, a super old company, hasn't gone anywhere. They're just dividend hoarding machines. Yeah, until they cut the dividend. So yeah, I mean, the only thing about, yeah, like Andrew was saying, the only thing good that why people want to put their money in there is because they pay out dividends. But for traders like that, we don't really care about that. GOL. Yeah, I don't really know much about this company. They don't have any options either. If I had the capital, I'd buy a 6-month. Andrew, yeah, I just got that on my. Usually, when I get alerts after hours like this, it's something political happened. Trump said something, or that's why I checked my phone just now. But yeah, the founder of Vanguard Group just died, I guess. But I like to check my phone because maybe it might be interesting for the stream if something politically happened, like the government shutdown stop, but probably not, right? Baba yield, div yield is 0, yep. But Baba's a growth stock, but the thing bogging down Alibaba is our tariff war, our trade war. But I mean, you still can't complain. 57 to 200 to 150. I mean, not terrible. Nvidia, good question. I've been looking at trading them. I haven't in some time, but you know, kind of like the rest of the chips and stuff like that. I think it's definitely on the struggle bus where it's not making newer highs here. It can't break above these highs, and it's having trouble. I thought maybe it was going to retest 160, and it doesn't seem to want to do that. You know, a 160 push would definitely be interesting, but I don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. What did Nvidia look like today? Yeah, kind of like the same as AMD. Just a lot of chop all day. You know, went from 139 to 153. I was looking at this on the rise up, but that's what kind of worries me, that maybe the market's going to get cut down here in a couple days because these charts are looking kind of messed up. Well, the short bus is really short for GE. At least Nvidia can handle it for a while longer, unless they get some 50 to 75% haircuts here. Kit. We're coming up on an hour. If the video was of value to you, I definitely would appreciate you hitting the like button. If it's your first time here, say what up. Definitely want to meet you. I want to say what's up. One thing I will say about the UVH, if you watch the streams, and yeah, Andrew, I did say cut the market cut down. Yep. If you do watch the streams and you want to kind of get to the next level, I definitely suggest connecting with our Facebook group and our Discord. Get involved in the community. I think as a bettor, we learn from each other, we grow from each other. We see what people's mistakes are. You know, not necessarily mine, but also other people's, and also see what other people win. Like, there's a lot of people in our group that trade a lot of things that are different, and I definitely learn from people in the group too. So I think, you know, so far we're it's a great community if you're looking to kind of get more information about trading. Any news on Sprint T-Mobile merger? I wouldn't wait around for it, Brent. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's just like, you know, there's when you have the telecoms like that, a lot of policy, a lot of things, people want it, people don't want it, a lot of back and forth. It gets crazy. It's not just like them acquiring another company; they're merging, you know, a couple telecoms there. You know, we're at the top of the wave, my friends. Got puts on SPY and QQQ. I hope so, Kit, because I was actually delta positive by 60, and after I made my adjustments, I am now negative delta by 22. So I did an 80-point swing negative delta. So you guys all have a great rest of your night. Take it easy. We'll be around. Join our group. Say hi. We're in there a lot. Hit subscribe. It's your first time here. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night.